Hey friends, welcome to the Indue Season Podcast Episode 4. Today, I want to talk about the kinds of tools that I use in my everyday homeschool life. I'd like to share what I have on my phone right now for school. I'm just one homeschool parent. There are so many tools and apps that are out there, it can easily be overwhelming. I'd like to give you a small sampling of the things that I've used to help streamline my day, facilitate learning, and have a little fun. I'd love to hear about you and your favorite learning tools, and I'd like to try them out and share them with my readers. Now, right now, a lot of parents are trying to create a school day from scratch. If that is you, I want to offer some of the best resources that I trust to help you. I hope you're able to navigate this season of change with peace and a little humor, and I raise my coffee mug to you. Now, if you are new to homeschooling, do not feel overwhelmed. You do not need to use a single one of these tools. Some of these just fill gaps for us, and some of them take over a subject or two. Many of the apps on my phone I use in cycles or only with a specific student. My intention is not to be overwhelming. I just want to simplify the startup process and give you some tools you can use in the immediate while you're choosing a curriculum or filling in a gap of time. Now, I want to disclose that I'm an affiliate for a few of these programs, which means if you choose to make a purchase, I earn a small commission. As a blogger, I only partner with programs I personally use and know are great providers. Often these companies are smaller and use affiliate marketers to advertise to keep costs low and to better serve their customers. I appreciate the companies that serve the homeschooling community. Often homeschooling parents are living on a single income. We're not the most glamorous demographic with our bulk shopping habits and our coupon clipping, but these companies saw a need and chose to serve us. If they made my affiliate list, then they created a great tool for homeschoolers to use. A good portion of apps on my phone are dedicated to reading. I have free books from the local library, online sources for ebooks, my regular book collection, and books for our homeschool education. Our local library offers books online for free. 3 of the apps we have used in the past are Bridges, Overdrive, and Libby. Check your local library's website to see which program they use to access ebooks. Setting up an account is as simple as using your library card number and creating one. Now, the only downsides I see to these are sometimes you can have a long wait list if it's a new popular book or a popular author. And you're limited to a 2-week checkout window, and then the book is automatically returned when you hit the Wi-Fi. Now, I do see that the only other drawback was when I wasn't using my computer very often, they would send me an email to let me know the book was available, and sometimes I would miss those, and I'd be a week and a half into the borrowing period before I would actually download the book. The worst part was being returned to 64th in line. Overall, ebooks have been a great way for us to access just everyday reading material for our students. Another place I have been able to find quality textbooks is iTunes University. Now, I didn't use it for a really long time, and one day I scrolled through and found quite a few textbooks on history, English, and sciences. I downloaded a few biology textbooks when we were in between curriculums just to look and see what they had to offer, and it was actually great reading material. Now, these are secular, government school-oriented books, but they have useful information and lots of subjects are covered. I would say that the majority of the things I found in the iTunes University were upper level class and teaching materials. Now, in iTunes University, when you click the star icon at the bottom of your phone screen, it takes you to featured materials. If you swipe over to the featured collections, you will discover a collection of virtual field trips. Now, it has tours of art museums, then a collection of museum apps to go with each one. Same with historical sites and corresponding apps, visual guides to the national parks and apps about each one, access to specialized libraries, and links to performing arts, podcasts, interviews, and apps. There's access to a multitude of places that it would be impossible to travel to in one lifetime, and that is one place where this app has served us well. Now, my favorite app is Audible. Last year, I had a job outside of the home where I was driving a truck. 2 days a week, I would drive for at least 3 hours. So I asked for an Audible subscription for my birthday, and I love it. I've always bought used fiction books online or traded them on the paperback swap. But as a blogger, I wanted access to new fiction to review or to read for myself without having to have a physical copy of a book maybe I didn't want to keep forever. Because brand new books are typically more expensive, I chose Audible as a great way to get new titles at a good price. Now you can also choose from several select titles each month, and they offer enough 2-for-1 discounts and $4.99 deals that they've kept me from canceling for a whole year. I love audiobooks for my long drives. Because of my tendency toward thrift, I sometimes choose my books by their length. I fell in love with the history of Troy and the Greek civilization. It kept me captivated for every one of the 55 hours of its playtime. So you can really get your money's worth out of an Audible subscription. Now, another great treat I've discovered is that Audible offers audio recordings from the great courses. I've listened in on audio courses on writing, philosophy, history, and psychology. My current wish list in Audible includes The Philosopher's Toolkit, How to Be the Most Rational Person in the Room, Foundations of Western Civilization, a course on black holes, tides, and curved space, and the Athenian Democracy, an experiment of the ages. You can also find St. Augustine's Confession and books that have made history, books that can change your life, and quite a few more. While we're on the subject of the great courses, now that I've experienced the professionalism of the audio version, I am considering trying a course from the Great Courses site. The benefits is that these courses are the full video recordings. So for subjects like mathematics and sciences, or for a more visual learner, you can see the work as it's being taught. Now these courses are available with an instant download too, so you could actually start today. The Great Courses list of high school offerings is extensive. They're having a huge sale as well, so many high school level courses are under $70. In general, this is less than the average cost of a course with a new textbook and workbook, so it's a very reasonable offering. Right now, for example, I'm considering the Latin 101 course by Professor Hans Friedrich Muller, PhD, from Union College. It's listed for $69.95 as an instant video or as a DVD sent to your home, $99.95. Now, if you live where internet access is not reliable, or you want your teen off of the computer for sharing reasons, this is a great way to keep your student working. Now, this course is the equivalent of a 2-semester college course, or a 101 equivalent, so it easily qualifies for a high school transcript credit. Now, there's a handy chart of what's included, and I'll include that in the blog post so you can see everything that comes with a subscription. I also noted from the Great Courses, it says, we recently launched the Great Course Plus, a subscription service that features over 325 of our courses, including this one. If you want to preview this course, you can quickly and easily sign up for a free trial, which will give you full access to the course for 1 month. A monthly subscription is $19.99 a month and a 1-month trial, and while the annual subscription is $179.99, which breaks down to about $14.99 a month, a savings of about 25%. That is not an ad. I just wanted to let you know. This makes me want to trade my Netflix for the equivalent of renting a college education. Now, as for other apps on my phone, I have several that are for full online homeschooling programs. One I use to connect to This Old Schoolhouse magazine's website called schoolhouseteachers.com. At schoolhouseteachers.com, there is an offering of K through 12 programming for the entire family. Now, not only are there courses that are developed by parents and teachers alike, but there's tons of additional resources in the site. Honestly, I can't tell you enough how much value I've gotten out of it. There is World Book Encyclopedia access, and as of right now, World Book Encyclopedia is offering many of their courses available for people who have access to the online encyclopedia as well. There's also access to RightNow Media, which is an online resource filled with tons of children's videos, educational materials, and Bible studies of all levels and sizes for your group, for your family, for your church, and for your home. SchoolhouseTeachers.com is a plethora of resources and honestly could be your full curriculum for the year. I have found the classes are more hands-on than I thought in the beginning. They definitely need to be parent-led as you go through. But if you're looking for concrete material, easy to follow instructions, and a lot of resources for many grade levels, a subscription to SchoolhouseTeachers.com would be well worth every penny. They run specials from time to time, and I'll link the latest and most current in my blog post for you to look at. Another online resource I use for our homeschool is Discovery K-12. This is a program I often refer parents to when they're pulling their child out of public school before they have a concrete plan on what curriculum they're going to use. Discovery K-12 is an easy to jump into program. It's scheduled just like the school year. You sign your student up according to their grade level, and you can be plug and play from that day forward. Each day is lined out with what your student should do for every subject, with links to reading materials and links to any video documentation on a subject that is taught that day. There's a space for them to write their answers and email them to you so you know that they're working. I suggest Discovery K-12 for any parent who maybe has a teen who is working independently at home and you'd like to make sure that they're staying on task each day, or if you're just trying to fill a gap between times. It is not a highly robust program, and my son, who used it for a year, asked to come back to our homeschool because he was ready to reintegrate into our reading program. But I will say it is a great place to start when you're not quite sure where to go forward from there. Another app that we have used is Khan Academy. Khan Academy is set up as an educational program worldwide. Leaders and teachers in every curriculum source have created courses on Khan Academy for your child to use. When I'm stumped on a math program, I usually turn to Khan Academy. That's where I find the most instructive videos. And what I love about it most is when you watch a video, there's actually a quiz to follow. So you can check your student's mastery of a subject before you move on. I can't tell you how many times I have turned to Khan Academy to explain a difficult math concept, then I've come away with full understanding. Now, apps on my phone that are online single-time classes. These are apps that I use to educate myself personally or to fill areas like electives or other educational gaps in our curriculum. One of the places I love is SkillShare. SkillShare offers a ton of classes, and it's not just arts and crafts. There's tools and resources for nearly every type of media you can find online. There are classes in using Photoshop, Illustrator, Word, anything you could be looking for. Any skill that you want to sharpen or improve on or learn from scratch is available on SkillShare. I suggest checking it out and seeing what's available. It's a great place to maybe cover a gap that you want to work on or to improve some skills. We've also offered it to our kids as a way to choose electives without any risk. Try it for a month, see what you think, or take an art class and find out a little bit more. Another online skill program is Craftsy. Craftsy is another one, but it is more craft and food oriented, so a little bit more hands-on in the arts and crafts area. There's also TedTalks online, where you can find lots of information about most any subject. Sometimes we've searched that by subjects and added to our curriculum and rounded out maybe a talk about something that we're learning about currently. YouTube is a huge resource for homeschooling families. That's what I was sharing today with a live program on Facebook, sharing how we used YouTube in a way to help implement morning time with our kids. I found that since I'm a writer, I work until 10 in the morning. My younger kids were taking advantage of that window and ended up watching YouTube videos about Minecraft or watching gamers game online. I felt like it was a time frame that we could really utilize in a better way, so I created a YouTube playlist of current things that we were learning in many different formats. Some were songs, some were video clips, some were actual shows or resources that told historical events from a different point of view. Anyway, there's tons and tons of things about historical pieces or subjects that you're learning on YouTube. And I encourage you to take some time to create a playlist and share it on your television. It is so easy to do. I just sent it right to my Apple TV. You could also do it with your Roku or any other smart TV device. Another single class we use is RightNow Media. RightNow Media, we have access through schoolhouseteachers.com, but also our church offers access because they have a group membership. RightNow Media has tons of children's programming and also many, many Bible study programs. So for all age groups and sizes, but there's also education materials. This is where we watch Drive Through History, which is a great show where you actually go visit the places that you've read about in your historical books. Teaching helps that I use on my phone, Khan University, which I've talked about before. Another one I love is TeachersPayTeachers. TeachersPayTeachers is a program online where you can search for any sort of printables or workbooks to maybe further explain a thing that you're working on in your classes. What I love about TeachersPayTeachers is that the worksheets are created by teachers who are using them in their classrooms every day. But the beautiful thing is, when you buy a worksheet from TeachersPayTeachers, you pay a teacher. That means you're putting money in the pocket of people who are spending those dollars in their classrooms. So if you're looking for a worksheet on bonding, if you're looking for a study guide for biology, it is a great resource to search. It does have tons of free material, but I never feel bad about paying a couple bucks or $5 for a workbook because I know I'm supporting a parent and a teacher. This episode is brought to you by the In Due Season course, where you can build your roadmap for your own personalized homeschool journey. Listen, beginnings are great and planning for the end is satisfying, but the middle season of homeschooling can be a long and winding, uncharted road. I want to help ensure a strong finish by helping you live well in the middle. In Due Season is a course that helps you with practical lessons, life examples, and encouragement that will serve you from that anxious first day until the moment you walk your child down an aisle in a cap and gown or send them back to public school because you've resolved the issues that you wanted to work on. Now, simple shifts in your school setup and challenging conversations is what the course is made of, specifically designed to have you get the very best outcome from your homeschooling year. The lessons cover relationship building, like showing love uniquely to your child, creating a school that fits your personal needs by helping you transform the way you approach teaching your children. I want you to create a personalized map that will last you your entire homeschool lifetime. So In Due Season course, where you can join us to explore several other vital and powerful truths that will ensure that this will be your best school year ever. My heart's desire is that you never lose sight of the end of the road in your homeschool journey. And we want to help ensure a strong finish by helping you live well in the middle. You can find out more about the In Due Season course at indueseason.net. Now, if you're stuck on math and Khan University hasn't helped you out enough, PhotoMath is an app that you can actually use to take a photograph of the math problem, and it will fully work out that problem and show you how it's done. My elementary kids try to use this app. My high school kids enjoy this app, and my college son uses it almost on a regular basis. It does help explain how the problem is done, which is a great resource when you're just missing a step. Another program I love is Quizlet. Quizlet is the one we use for our Apologia biology right now. What I love about Quizlet is that other people have taken the time to create quiz note cards in Quizlet for you already. So when I signed up for the program, I got a parent account and I assigned my students in the class. I have 3 that are in Apologia biology right now. So when I did a simple search for Module 1, several classes came up and were able to share their cards with me. Now there's 42 question cards that have our vocabulary words, definitions, and multiple ways to study those throughout the week. You start by a simple knowledge assessment. So the first thing you do or your student would do is go through each one of those cards and answer the questions correctly to what vocabulary terms they already know. The beauty of this is they aren't wasting time working on subjects or problems that they already understand completely. Then they go on to the practice phase where they do matching, vocabulary words, lots of different ways. And what I love about it as well is that the cards are read out loud. So if there's a term that your child's having trouble with, they can hear it spoken and gain better understanding. Crambox is another app that helps you with studying, and you can create quizzes, you can create tests, you can do a lot of things to help your students study better. Foreign language apps. I'm paying for a subscription to Chineasy right now. I love it, and my 8-year-old son is the one who uses it the majority of the time. It is an interesting way to learn Chinese because each one of the characters is turned into an illustration. I think this appealed to me because I'm a visual learner, and the way they presented the Chinese characters makes it easy for me to remember what they mean. It's a fun way for a younger child or an older child to learn language skills. Another app is Babbel. Babbel is an app that will let you learn a foreign language in your own time from the freedom of your own phone. Rosetta Stone is another app that we are using. Rosetta Stone is a great resource for learning foreign languages quickly. Historically, we've used them in our homeschool to meet our high school foreign language requirements. News and current events. Newsela is an app that I use for my elementary students to gain understanding of current events and world news. Newsea, Newsela, is a place where I can find articles and assign them to my students at their independent reading levels, which is great because sometimes the news isn't made for an 8-year-old. But I can also choose a higher index reading level for my 12-year-old, which is great because I can have all of my students assigned with the same material and we can discuss that together as a group. I also use World Magazine as our resource for news and current events. Now, I order World Magazine, the adult version, but you can also order it for your children at an elementary, junior, and high school level. So these can be specifically designed for their age group and category. I will say, one thing I love is to incorporate Alexa with our news categories. I can ask Alexa for the recap of the day, and she'll tell me the news that's going on, and my kids can do the same. Another set of apps on my phone are for music. The Fender app is a great resource for guitar and ukulele lessons. We have an app on my phone for tabs and an app called Sound Corset that helps us with timing. We've used it to meter piano and also to tune guitars. Speaking of tuning, Guitar Tuna is an app that we use that also has some fun activities for learning your chords and notes. I have a few science apps I really enjoy. One is called Star Walk, where I can take my phone outside and point it to the night sky and get a definition of the constellations that are in front of us right now. It's a great way to gain interest in space and to discuss the things in our night sky with a little bit more understanding than trying to fumble through what's there. I love TinyBop, and their app collection in the App Store is my favorite. They have a bunch of different apps for science and technology, and I suggest you go check them out and see if there's one that relates to what you're teaching right now. I enjoy them, and that's when I can turn my kids loose on my iPad, which I try to avoid a redundance of apps and a whole bunch of game things, but that one I have really enjoyed. Tech support is my other section on my apps. All of the remotes in the world are on my phone. So that is one way that I have served us and help us out is by keeping the remotes for all the TVs and things like that on my phone. Circle by Disney is an app that I use to help control our internet usage at our house and to help control our devices. I love my pause button that I got from Disney Circle. I can pause the whole house's internet and get everybody's attention at one time, and that is the best feature so far. I have a Netgear router, and my Netgear router came equipped with Disney on it already, and that has been a blessing to keep my kids safe on the internet and let them have access to the tools they want at the same time. Health and wellness apps. I have an essential oil app because, of course, I'm a homeschooler, so I have to have an oil app because that's like a requirement. 7-minute workout. Sometimes I just need the kids to burn off some energy, and the 7-minute workout is a great way to have everybody jump into a workout. I might even use it when kids are fighting. Just going to say. For my personal health, I love the Kira Stokes Fit app. It just got updated and it is one of my favorites. Kira Stokes is a great trainer who works the whole body, and I feel like she does a great job of keeping me motivated and on track. For Bible, I use the SheReadsTruth app for most of my devotional time. There's a devotional app on there already, which you can read each day. You can also download different studies and pay for them one by one. The SheReadsTruth app I use for my Bible time. It has an access to 8 or 9 different translations of the Bible that I can choose from if I want to see a scripture verse in a different format. It also has access to devotionals that they run throughout the year, changing out different ones each time. You can have access to those through the app, or you can buy them and have the physical copies sent to you and work along with the group. I do enjoy that it's updated all the time, and so there's something new available to you when you're looking for maybe a new devotional, and there's also a great community that's backing up the SheReadsTruth app. And again, RightNow Media is a great place for you to find resources for Bible study for your group or for your children to do a devotional, and also just great shows and things. It's kind of a Netflix of wholesome and decent videos that aren't lame. So I will encourage you. They are a great resource to find things that your kids can watch that you don't have to worry about. And in this day and age, I so appreciate that. So that's the rundown of everything on my phone. If you have any questions or a great app that you want to share with me, that would be really fun. And I would love to hear about your favorite homeschooling resources. I know there's tons I've missed, and there's tons that I just don't know how to use. I have tried Google Classroom, and I am not a professional at it. I would really love to learn more, but at this time, it hasn't served me. So I encourage you to find the apps that serve you best, that make your life easier and give you access to the tools you need to make homeschooling fun and fit your family. So for right now, that's all. I really appreciate your time. If you think of somebody who would like this information, share this episode with them. If you don't want to miss the next episode, be sure to subscribe. And please, by all means, leave me a comment and let me know your favorite educational apps so I can add them to my life. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.